The ARDC Sim Midget Series is on the air, live from the dirt track at Charlotte Motor Speedway. This broadcast being brought to you by Victory Lane Graphics. For all your in-sim graphical needs, you can find them on their Facebook page. You got something going through your mind, you want to see it on your race car, Victory Lane Graphics is where you want to go. Round number 5 of the ARDC Sim Midget Series. Getting ready to turn them loose for qualifying. Not quite the same number of drivers we've got tonight that we had last night, but or last week I should say, but that's not necessarily a horrid thing. Bear with me, folks. I've got to make some last-minute adjustments here. I'm going to need to turn that up just a couple whiskers.
Hey, wake up.
So anyways, sorry about that, folks. Is dealing with some doppelgangers, and whatever else you want to refer to people as. Qualifying, getting ready to get underway here as we are at a day race at Charlotte. So that's something to don't normally see. Marvelous. Marvelous, marvelous.
Insufficient permissions.
Anyways,
Server group assigned.
better late than pregnant.
User was moved to your channel.
Well then.
Hi, Tony.
Hi, KP.
I just flew in from Homestead. My arms were tired.
Yeah. Oh, it's going to be one of those nights. He says with a smile on his face. Pregnant. So.
Are we on?
User was.
Sorry?
Are we on air yet?
Oh yeah. We've been live for about 5-10 minutes now.
Okay. Well, hello, folks. Sorry.
It's all right. Not your fault. I'm just
an open wheel race.
I'm just having one of those days where I never should have chewed through the leather straps to get out of bed this morning.
I know how that goes, Tony. Trust me, I've had a few of them.
So Ace McCarthy ripping one off. Cole Harvey, these guys are just going after it right now in the first flight of qualifying. Mueller putting one down, 16-6. These guys are really getting after it. As Rhett Tucker pointing the wrong way on a one-way street in the Billabong number 19. So, just as a fair warning, KP, and I found this one out just prior to going live, that as I was hanging out in the general chat TeamSpeak, there are a couple of drivers.
Server group revoked. Channel group changed. Channel group
Yes.
changed.
We have a couple of drivers. That's good.
No, I'm just trying to figure out what the hell's going on. I'm nowhere near drunk enough to be putting up with some of the stuff that I'm having to put up with here. Not here, ladies and gentlemen, but
Well, we know how that can sometimes go. Hopefully you get it figured out, Tony.
But anyways, a few drivers making their way out of it right now. Jared LeBaugh going to be one of them.
Well, one thing I can tell you about this track, just having run a little bit here, it's a nice big wide open track. At least in street stocks and sprint cars, it's a blast to get around here. And these cars so far, these little midget cars, look like they're gonna have some fun tonight.
Yeah, the setup, as we've been seeing, at least during the hot lap session, if you try to pinch it down low, your front wheels are coming off the ground. Not just one of them, both of them are coming up off the ground.
That makes it hard to drive.
Usually. So, as you can see, Austin Nye flirting with disaster there. You see how much daylight they're getting under that left front.
Yeah, these cars, I imagine, this car wants to stand up and not touch the ground as is with those front tires, but this is a big, wide open track. You can really sail around here, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see a couple guys sail off into the corner tonight and don't have either tire on the ground.
Oh, Ben Morrison clicking one off right now. Going to the top of the board. What the hell? How is that even possible? 16-3. And then eats the turn one wall. So he was right on the ragged edge on that lap, apparently. Holy cow.
Yeah, 16.385. I mean, that's more than a tenth faster than Mueller sitting second right now, and that is flying around this place.
Very much so. It was Robert Henschel finishing up his last lap here. Going 6 quick as of right now.
And it looks like a little bit of a smaller field tonight. I mean, last week, everyone showing up for Knoxville. It was a lot of fun. We had to have a B main, A main, of course, but I don't think we're going to have that problem here tonight.
From the looks of it, not so much. And I'm okay with that. Only because I know that the guys that are here, I recognize the names. We're going to be in for one heck of a good show with the names that are here.
Definitely. I mean, guys that we know can wheel those cars around this track. I mean, guys that we've seen at our first week, or my first week, I should say, at Lanier.
That was my first week as well.
Okay, so see, our first week. Lanier, very short, very tight track, and then last week Knoxville, very long, very wide open, but with its own set of issues. And then here at Charlotte, which I think is kind of a conglomeration of the two, really, these guys are going to wheel it, and I think they're going to give us one hell of a show tonight.
Well, as it was described to me once, Charlotte is quickly turning into a D-shaped dirt demon, where you never really stop turning. It's a half mile in length, but it's such a sweeping track that you're never not turning the car.
Right, which, you know, that's kind of a hallmark of a lot of Midwestern dirt tracks. You know, you just kind of that bowl shape. You're always, because it's so wide, you're hitting the apex of the corner, you're coming right up, and you're never really stopping. And that allows for a lot of momentum, a lot of speed. I mean, already looking at it right now, you know, that cushion up towards the top of the racetrack, there isn't a whole lot of one even this early on. But they're not really beating in the track as much as we've seen previously. I don't know what that's going to do tonight.
But yeah, it's gonna be a rough one. That's for sure. As Joe Hoey finishing off his qualifying lap. Currently 15 cars taking time. Ben Morrison's still sitting at the top of the board. You know, the Kiwi kid is going to be tough to, you know, he's going to be tough tonight.
Well,
Okay. So we just found out that the Moscow lighting on the infield is a solid object.
That's good to know.
Oh, criminally.
I'm not sure it's something you want to know, but it's good to know.
Well, I think it was Joe Hoey just found out the hard way. So.
And I want to point out, I've got something weird going on my screen. I've actually got, I'm seeing a ghost car out there. That's weird.
A ghost car?
Yes, there's a car. Looks like he's out there to qualify right now that I can see completely through. This is weird on my screen, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks like it's Tyler Schuster for some reason. On my screen was see-through. For now, as he pulls out on track, he gets solid, but he was see-through there for a while.
Well, part of that has to do with the fact that the number of pit stalls allowed here, we've already exceeded that.
Yeah, this is one of those tracks. I mean, Charlotte built strictly for short track, dirt racing. There's no pit lane. There's no nothing here. I think they just kind of stage the cars outside the track, roll them through the infield, and then line them up and race them. So yeah, we not much room in that infield.
That's exactly what they do. And if as you watch the cars go into turn 3, you'll see the crossover gate.
I've hit that crossover gate.
I've hit that crossover gate right there. We just passed it. But, you know, the guys are supposed to, you know, wheel their pit equipment in through there. Very limited on motorized vehicles that can come through there, and definitely not a hauler, as 23 of Macaulay pointing the wrong way. Bud, you're going to want to tow that.
Yeah,
there you go.
I have this strange sensation that we're going to see quite a few guys on their lids tonight. I hope I'm wrong. But this setup looks like it's really gripping, and it looks like it's giving some of these guys a little bit of a fit.
Ooh! That would be how he ended up on his roof. Okay. Dave Hunt coming back out to finish his qualifying lap here. So 21 cars have taken time.
And now, is it a field of 20 tonight, Tony? Is it 20 that make the cut?
I have not received word as to what's going on yet.
Aha.
So we shall see what happens.
You know, as we sit here, as we, you know, watching cars circulate here, I gotta think that a little four-banger race here would be a lot of fun.
And by four-banger, I'm assuming you're meaning NASJet style?
Oh yeah, I think NASJets at Charlotte is a must at some point.
Why, so you can just turn me into a tire again? Do a failed bump and run?
No, I wouldn't turn you into a tire. Just turn you into the infield.
No. Well, the last time.
No.
Yeah, exactly. Last time you and I were in a quote dirt four-banger race, full fendered. I hit the barrels at the end of the linear pit entrance.
You didn't really hit them. You kind of glanced off of them slightly. I can't call it a hit.
It was in my passenger seat, you twit.
Well, that's your fault. Our crew chief should have built a better. Should have made sure the reinforcements on the passenger side were a little bit stronger there.
You have a ton-and-a-half vehicle hitting a concrete barrier. Yeah, it's just gonna taco around it. Anyways.
If you wonder what we do for fun, ladies and gentlemen, that is a little piece of it right there. We take cars that were never designed for dirt track racing, and we go dirt track racing with them.
True story. So, as they're starting to grid up here, it looks like everybody's going to make the cut tonight. Ben Morrison is going to be starting up on point. He's going to be joined with Jared Sang. Row number 2 is going to go to Ryan Mueller and BJ Antonio. Row 3 is going to see Austin Nye and Colin Dubois. Robert Henschel and Jarrett LeBeau going to make up row number 4. Row 5 is going to go to Jackson Gill and Dave Hunt. Cole Harvey and Joe Fowler are going to make up row 6. Row 7, Tyler Schuster and Ace McCarthy. Row 9 is going to see Joe Howie and Rhett Tucker. Ronell Barnes and Eric Violet are going to make up row number 9. And row 10 going to see Robert McQuinn and Mike McCauley. As
I hope it's not the same Mike McCauley, but that was my high school social studies teacher.
No, because apparently I'm the oldest one in the room right now. And Mike Elledge going to be starting shotgun on the field. And Ben Morrison asked for an EOL. So
that's interesting.
Going to be dropping to the tail end of said field.
Well, I wonder if that might be just a little bit of jitters or nerves, not wanting to wreck anyone else. I know the first time I ever ran a sprint car on iRacing, I felt like I was going to take out the entire field in turn 1, and I took out 3/4 of the field in turn 2.
Practice, practice, practice.
This is true.
Oh, wait, you were trying not to. My bad.
I didn't mean to wreck him.
I just wanted to rattle his cage. Yeah, well, you put a...
Green flag, green flag.
And we are off and running.
Yeah, it looks like a clean start here as everyone fans out around the speedway. Just nice 3 wide. Couple different lines look like they might be in the works. So, we could have a competitive race here.
True story is I'm missing half the field. I don't know about you.
You know what? Some of the cars at the back of the field are kind of fluctuating for me. That's very awkward. Come on, iRacing, get your stuff together. But up at the front right now, we've got one heck of a battle going for 3rd place. And it looks like Herschel, if I'm not mistaken, and a few others.
Henschel.
Sorry, Robert.
Austin Nye, BJ Antonio, and Robert Henschel. Colin Dubois throwing his hat in that ring as well. As, who's that? The 46 of Antonio bounces it off the wall.
I gotta say, BJ looked like he tried a slide job in there, and just the rear end did not hook up, as we're 3 wide for 3rd all of a sudden.
Almost 4 wide as Gill and Dubois trying to throw their hats into that ring still. I know you can go 3 wide because I've seen the Big Block Modifieds. Oh! There's our first caution. Or not? Yep, there it is.
Yep, there it is. Yeah, and that was just, getting a little bit out of shape off that corner. It's what I'm noticing is that lower line. If you commit to that lower middle line, you've got to kind of pinch it off in the corner, or coming off the corner rather. Whereas the outside line can keep it wound up, and I think that's what happened. He didn't quite pinch it off enough.
Well, the thing was, you just saw what I was warning about in the. Watch the front end of Antonio's car when he gets on the throttle, coming off a 3 and now coming off a 4, and just catches a race car to the helmet.
Yeah, that's going to be a skid mark on the outside of the helmet. Maybe a skid mark in the fire suit as well. I don't know, but
yeah.
Thank goodness this is a simulator.
Well, luckily, I mean, it wasn't that hard of a shot. It was just more of a first you say it, then you do it kind of moment.
That is true. That is true. Not a horrendous shot here, but still, nevertheless, something you don't want to see, especially with two competitors like that. I mean, both of these guys really know their stuff. They wheel these cars really well, and they just got crossed up.
Yeah, you kind of hate to see it with Macaulay and Antonio both having to take it pit side. But we're back underway. Singh pulls the trigger coming off a 4. 26 to go.
Oh, somebody's on his lid already. One of the leaders.
Macaulay.
Oh, man.
No, that was Austin Nye.
I'm going to say, I was readjusting my view to the front and picked up, I think it was the 4th or 5th place car, and they just drove past somebody on his lid. I couldn't tell who it was.
He just jumped the cushion and roll cage first into the outside retaining wall.
That makes me clinch. Even from my days driving a dwarf car, which are the highly underpowered little cousins to these midgets, it's not that hard to do that in one of those. So I can only imagine doing it in one that's a couple pounds lighter and a whole lot more horsepower.
Remind me to show you the crash test videos that I saw earlier of crash testing the, I believe it was a Spike sprint car chassis. You'll probably cringe as quickly as I did. So
I'm not sure I want to see this.
The first shot was great. The chassis did everything it needed to do. It was the second shot, if you will, that really scared the hell out of me. And we are back green as Singh pulls the trigger again.
Hit the cone and go.
Pretty much. That's about all you can do at this point in time.
Oh, and second, third, fifth. Oh, that wasn't good.
And I couldn't get the camera back there quick enough.
I don't know who it was. Battle for second. They came together, somebody went around, and then somebody went into the fence.
Well, they're doing manual cautions here. And unless 3 cars are involved, we're going to stay green.
Yeah, it looked like it was at worst a 2-car incident. So one thing it does give, though, is Jarrett Singh gives him some breathing room at the front of the field. He's got to have half a straightaway or better now.
Well, right now we're watching Henschel, Gill, and Morrison slug it out for the runner-up spot. And here comes LeBaugh on the inside as well. Oh, gets it all wrong. That's Jason Gill.
Yeah, that's terrifying right now. I don't think you want that middle line. I think you either have to completely and fully commit to the very bottom of this racetrack or run it high. I don't think you can stick the middle right now.
No, and we're seeing that more and more. as Gill trying to fight back. Right now, Jarrett Singh a 2nd and a quarter to the good. Henschel, you see him brush the wall going into 3. He's dealing with Jason Gill right now, or I'm sorry, Ben Morrison right now.
And it's just what these little cars are so good at doing. I mean, they're pushing that cushion right up against that white wall here at Charlotte. I mean, and it's what these cars are good at, but the problem is for the drivers, it leaves you no room for error.
And in a midget car, no room for error is, a recipe for disaster, as Tyler Schuster trying to get it collected back up, because he was pointing the wrong way.
I think he did. I don't see anything there. No harm, no foul. We're still under green, and it looks like now 4th place has hit the wall.
And he has, yes, badly. As the battle for 2nd. Slide job coming out of turn number 4. Henschel and Morrison almost getting together. And these guys are just throwing bombs worth of sliders coming at each other. Morrison back to the inside, way down low, going to slide it all the way up through the middle, kill all his momentum, trying to stay off the wall.
This just turned into a Hail Mary contest.
As they touch, coming through 2. Morrison and Henschel just slugging it out for 2nd right now. And meanwhile, Jarrett Singh is almost 2 seconds up the road.
Yeah, I have to think that unless Singh does something dumb or we get another caution, this is going to be the race to watch. But even now, Henschel losing a little bit of ground. I mean, he's got that right rear wheel right on the cushion, and he's getting walked.
He's getting walked, but the thing is, part of that had to do with him tagging the wall on one of those sliders.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's no riding left on that wheel. I wouldn't be surprised if there was hardly any rubber left.
True story. As LeBaugh, Harvey, and Gill slugging it out for, as this is 28 of McCarthy getting it all wrong coming out of 2. These guys are trying to wreck each other.
They're trying, but just enough skill not to. Oh, and are we under caution?
We are under caution. Not seeing why yet. Apparently, David Hunt involved. So.
All right, as everyone's coming to a stop here. So if you're Henschel or Morrison right now, what are you thinking? How are you going to get Singh on this restart? Do they have a chance?
You've got to roll the dice, gamble on it, and hope that you can pick up the throttle at the same time he does, if not and we're under red, and I'm not sure why.
This, with so few laps left, I imagine they want to get in as many green laps as possible. I mean, I'm looking at it only, is it 6 left this time by?
Yeah.
All right, so that's what my guess is going to be. It looks like we're going to have a 5-lap shootout for all the marbles.
And currently 14 cars left on the track. So we've had some retirements early here. So Singh, Morrison, Henschel, Harvey, LeBaugh, Dubois, Violet, Mueller, McCarthy, and Tucker, your top 10. And here they come out of turn number 4. And Ben Morrison got about as good of a restart as he possibly could. As now he's got a run on Singh. Dives it to the inside. Singh going to keep it wound up on the high side. Not going to be able to get the slide job done that time. And I'm thinking maybe Morrison may have played his hand just a tick too early there.
Yeah, I to make that move work, I think he had to be about 5 feet closer to the back of Singh's car than he was. And yeah, Singh's starting to walk away with this one.
This thing's starting to stretch it out as Henschel going to have one final shot at Morrison as we're 3 to go. And the only thing these guys can hope for right now is that Jarrett Zhang steps on his own junk.
Yeah, I mean, he's consistently putting about a car length a lap. Up as he slides up just a little, it allows Morrison to get back in just a hair. I don't think it's going to be enough.
Not really, as white flag going to be coming out this time by.
Well, one thing you got to say about Morrison, he is trying. He is just pedaling this car.
Oh, here it goes. No, tags the wall, overshoots. Henschel gets a piece of it, going to hang on for third. No, for second. Cole Harvey threads the needle. Let's watch that again.
Oh, wow.
Keep your eye on Harvey here, folks. This is the last 2 laps. Okay. And that's Harvey in the 85. Gets a bump from LeBeau in the 38. There's Henschel in front of him. Right now, there's... what a finish.
That was one heck of a finish. And you got to hand it to...
Server group assigned.
I just lost my result sheet here. I mean, you got to hand it to, was it Ben Morrison, for just doing everything he could to try and get to Singh. And had it in turn 4, could not hold it. And then as soon as he caught that wall, it was just enough.
It was just enough, and of our top 3, only 2 of them look like they are in. Come on. Only 2 of them are in. Okay, he's already in there for us. So.
4 is a nightmare to get in as the laps went on. The entry in the corner got harder and harder. A little rut develops, and if you're not right getting into the corner, you're going to have issues. So it was not an easy drive. But when you're out front, it's a little bit easier because you don't have to worry about getting around anybody.
I was going to say, excuse me there. I was going to say, after the 2 cars behind you, I think it was just a little bit before halfway, they kind of got together and gave you some breathing room. How did it feel getting to walk away? I know these things don't have rearview mirrors, obviously, but you get that kind of sense of who's around you. And did you feel like you were pulling away?
A little bit in the middle of the race there. I actually started just being a little more cautious, getting into the corner and lifting a little bit. I figured if I was pulling away at the pace I was at, I could creep off a little bit and just play it safe. But then at the end, I saw Ben was behind me. And I knew he started last, so I figured he was probably ripping. And I stepped it up just a little bit the last couple laps there.
Yeah, after that last restart with 5 to go, you pulled out there a little bit, but then I don't know if you let up or if you hit that rut wrong, but he got right back in it on the last lap. Gave us some fireworks. When he slid up in front of you, what were you thinking?
I knew it was coming. I was actually when I got into 1, I was debating if I should. I knew I was going to go high in 1 and 2, 3 and 4. I was debating to take it to the bottom just to close off his line, and I didn't run the bottom much at all, so I didn't want to make a mistake, get into the corner wrong. So I said, you know what, if I can see him coming from the bottom, if he was, and I would just cross him back over, and knowing I had the momentum getting into the corner.
All right, well, that's definitely one thing we saw was that high line had the momentum through the corners. Have you had a chance to see the fireworks? What happened behind you there at the line?
No, I haven't. I'm anxious to go back and watch the replay. It should be pretty interesting.
Oh, man, I recommend it. But good race tonight, man. Congratulations. You had them on a string for most of the night, but then just enough for some great fireworks and an exciting finish.
I'm glad to run. Thanks for broadcasting, guys.
Well, thanks for giving us something good to broadcast. Really appreciate all the all the drivers, and everybody that helps put on the ARDC shows. We are going to reach out to our second place finisher tonight, Mr. Cole Henschel.
User was moved out of your
so,
channel.
Cole, did you see it coming? Let's start there.
With the wreck? No, I didn't really see it coming, to be honest with you. I saw Ben throw the slider, and I didn't know how it was going to work out.
How slick is that track right now?
Through the middle, it's pretty slick, and just cushion came in. It's just, you got to be out there.
Fair enough. We saw a few guys trying to pinch it off down low earlier in the event, and as soon as they went to go get back on the throttle, both front wheels would just hiked right up. Is that having to do with them more than the setup, or was the setup able to stick down low if you were a little bit easier on it?
Yeah, I really didn't experiment with the bottom at all, but it definitely had some bite down there. I think it was more versatile, if anything. But it was both setup and driver.
Well, it definitely put on a good show tonight. Anybody you want to thank?
Yeah, I want to thank Advanced Concrete and Victory Lane Graphics for a sweet wrap.
And, of course, Victory Lane Graphics providing tonight's broadcast for all your in-sim graphical needs. You got something going through your mind, you want to see it on your race car, Victory Lane is where you want to be. But, Cole, congratulations. We'll let you get back up and celebrate with the rest of the guys. We'll hopefully see you next week.
Yeah, thank you.
User was moved out of your channel.
And from one coal mine to another, Cole Harvey being the big beneficiary of what happened there on the final lap. Cole, did you have any clue what was going on in front of you when you came out of turn number 4?
No, I definitely didn't. I was coming out that pretty much settling for a 4th place finish to see the one car getting a little loose there, and just drifted down just a touch when they collected together, and at that point it was just trying to avoid the situation.
Fair enough. We saw you battling pretty good there with LeBon and Mueller for a lot of the race. You guys were 3 wide for quite a while. Was that a sketchy moment for you, or did you have complete confidence in the guys that were around you?
Well, this is the first time running with these groups of guys, but I've heard a lot of good things about everybody in here, so I was pretty confident that they could, hold their line, I hold my line, and put on a good race.
Well, congratulations on the podium. We're gonna reach out to league owner Brian Antonio. BJ, I don't think we could have asked for better action in the closing laps here than we saw tonight.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. I honestly wrecked out myself, but even when I wrecked out, I just really wanted to watch. I wanted everybody to watch. I just wanted to. Sorry, my words are slow. I wanted to watch everybody race tonight. Charlotte's always a great track, and I think our track prep's always awesome here. And I'm just like, I actually grabbed my first winged 600 sprint car win here Friday, and after the races, especially with the wing on, my body's pretty tired and sore, so I was just resting, so it was almost better to watch races. But we went, I think, like, I don't know if you guys remember, but like maybe 20 plus green flag laps.
Yes.
Like it was a great show. Everyone did a great job. A lot of people talked to me after the race before you moved me down here about my win. We were just talking and having fun. So overall, is a badass night.
Badass night tonight. And Cole Harvey coming out with the on the winning end of the whole exchange that happened on the last lap. You got to kind of feel bad for Ben Morrison jumping tried the slider, jumped the cushion, tagged the wall, pointed it the wrong way, and rebounded to finish 6th. But
sixth. Honestly, I feel bad for him, but he was all cheery and happy after the race to just finish where he did. But No, I mean, he knew he was doing a risky move, and I think that's why I didn't mind it. It's not like it was someone else's fault. He did that on his own. That was in his control. But, I mean, hey, you're going for the win. And you got to do what you got to do. But everyone had a great time. No one was, pissed at each other. It was a great night.
All right, so Charlotte now in the books. BJ, where's the series go from here?
I will notify you now. We will be at Williams Grove on the 29th.
Very nice. So
yeah, it'll be a great time. Our track prep's actually really nice there too, on the wall as well. Not usually what a lot of people are used to seeing, so it's a pretty unique standpoint from a broadcaster.
Looking forward to seeing it. So I believe that's going to do it for us tonight. Just going to give a quick rundown of the final finishing order.
User left your channel.
As Jarrett Sang just in control of the field from the drop of the green. Robert Henschel able to avoid the carnage in turn 4, coming home in second. Cole Harvey, congratulations on the podium. Again, the big benefactor there of what happened on the final lap. Jarrett LeBeau hanging out for 4th. Ryan Mueller for 5th. Ben Morrison able to rebound for 6th. Eric Violet coming home in 7th. Ace McCarthy in 8th. Colin Dubois coming home in 9th. Rhett Tucker in 10th. Then we move on to Tyler Schuster, Mike McCauley, Jason Gill, David Hunt, Joe Hoey, who we saw take a wild ride there in qualifying, Robert Mocklin, Joe Fowler, Brian Antonio coming home in 18th. Austin Nye went cage first into the wall. Scary moment. Thank God it's a simulator. Coming home in 19th. Brunel Barnes in 20th. And Mike Elledge not taking the green. So 20 cars taking the green. 20 cars looks like 15 able to finish. KP, your final thoughts?
Another good race. I think we've been spoiled so far, for lack of a better way to put it. Lanier and then Knoxville, which were both good races, and then here, this one, a little bit of a stutter step early, which we haven't really seen up to this point. But then the racing was amazing, especially there. I mean, 3 wide for second place at one point. Slide job in the last corner on the last lap that didn't stick. A lot of fun to watch, and looking forward to the next one.
Absolutely. Need to talk to Brian because I believe his normal broadcaster is going to be coming back for next week's race. Still need to talk to him about that one. But, for what it's worth, we're happy to have been able to bring you the races we've been able to bring you here in the ARDC Sim Midget Series. Brought to you by Victory Lane Graphics. For all your in-sim graphical needs, you got something going through your mind. You want to see it on your race car, Victory Lane is where you want to be. And without a doubt, we do need to also thank Paul Zoda and PZ Overlays for providing tonight's overlay. Some of the best overlays in all of iRacing for ATVO. You can find Paul on his Facebook page. So
yeah, definitely. Great guys all around. We have great racers. We have great supporters here at BOFA as well. And obviously some good racing. So thank you to everyone who supports this. Whether you support local racing at your local track, support iRacing here. We appreciate it.
And KP, you just hit the nail on the head. We heard Brian say that he won a race here last night and that he was sore. Brian actually runs sprint cars in real life, and it's a traveling series. But it's definitely something that you need to. If you've never gone to your local short track, you owe it to yourself as a racing fan to do so.
Yeah, and anyone out there watching, excuse you, Tony. But yeah, to anyone out there watching, whether you're a gamer, whether you're a racer, we appreciate you watching us. We appreciate you supporting these drivers. But also, head on out to your local track. Take in this, take in the modifieds. Take in the dwarf cars or the midgets. Watch them, support them. That's what we all thrive on.
Yeah, I mean, and I know I grew up, going to the local short tracks on a Saturday night or a Friday night. And I really think, some areas of the country are spoiled more than others. I know I'm very thankful I grew up in, the central New York area where, if you stuck a needle or stuck a pin in a map in my hometown and then drew a 60-mile circle, or a 60-mile radius circle, so you figure 1 hour one way, you're going to hit probably a good 30 tracks. So there was always somebody was running something somewhere from roughly the end of April until the middle of October when I was growing up. And I'll tell you, I wouldn't change it for the world. It's one of the reasons why when I had the chance to move back here, I did so. But, getting back to it, your local short track, that's where your Brian Clausens, that's where your Joey Logano's, that's where your Kevin Harvick's, that's where your Tony Stewart's, there are countless drivers. They come up through the ranks. So by you going to your local short track, you have the opportunity to possibly someday say, I saw him in his first race, or I saw her in her first race, or you get a chance to watch the current stars of your local short track, but you also get a chance to see, who might be coming next to the major leagues.
Right, when you've got somebody like Kenny Wallace in a modified racing against some 15-year-old kid, that kid, you might have to look at his name twice. You might have to go down to the car in the pit, say, hey, what's up? All right, memorize that name. And 10 years from now, 15 years from now, he could be at Daytona or Indianapolis. It's a great chance. It's a great way to get involved as a fan. It's a great way to watch these young people and support them, and even support the old guys like us who just enjoy doing it for fun. So go on out to your track and, of course, come see us on iRacing. Join us on iRacing, please, because it's a great way to have some fun. But go out and support your local dirt track.
Absolutely, and I will say this. I'll tell you folks the same thing I tell everybody else, that well, why should I go to my local, support my local short track? There's nothing better than sitting in turn one of a dirt race with a clump of clay in the bottom of your beer. And as fun as it is to watch things on TV or watch them on your computer, when you can feel the grandstand shake at the start of the feature, because all the cars are on the loud pedal at that point, they just thunder by. The grandstand shake, the smell of the racing fuel in the air, and no, it's not regular gasoline. There is a distinct smell to racing fuel. And the
best smell in the world.
If one of the perfume manufacturers could figure out how to make that smell identical to 115 octane racing fuel, I guarantee you that any woman on the planet could get any gearhead on the planet she wanted if that were the case. So that's going to do it for us here tonight. You have been watching a presentation of the ARDC Sim Midget Series. This is Tony Trapasso from Mr. Kevin Paskowicz saying we will catch you Wednesday night.